the chessbot destroyed my subscribers, and I got 6 games of proof that Mittens should be on this earth. We should destroy that little cat. My subscribers sent these chess games to me in the Discord that's in the description down below. But this first game is by my boy Dwisky, who was the black pieces, and Mittens, who was the white pieces. Now, this chess position, it was Mittens' turn, and Mittens played the move b4, and then Dwisky played the move bishop to b6 to get out of danger. But this is just almost over, because after knight b to d2, Dwisky did the biggest blunder ever and castled on the king side. And you might be thinking, shouldn't we as chess players castle as soon as possible? Well, this is like the one time where it is the worst to castle as soon as possible, because there is a Greek gift that Mittens found in a hurry, because after bishop takes on h7, checking the king, and then we got the move king takes on h7, and I can't believe that piece just fell. I didn't mean to like break the piece, but anyway, king takes on h7, and then after that we have to move knight to g5, checking the king on the h7 square. Now this demon was attacking my subscriber, and Dwisky decided to get that king out of danger. So the move that was played here was king g8. Now after king g8, you already know what the next move was. It's forced checkmate in 5, which Mittens clearly found, because after queen to h5, threatening checkmate on the h7 square, rook e8 to get out of the checkmate, then the move, which is pretty weird, he found, or the cat, not the cat is a she because chess.com declared it, bishop to e6 or d6. After bishop to d6, f6, then that was pretty much the final draw. Notice this beautiful mate. Queen h7, king f8, queen h8, checkmate. And you're probably wondering, this bishop moved to d6. Why did it move to d6 out of all moves? Now in this position, let me get my stick out. This bishop is controlling the a3 to f8 diagonal, pitting that knight to the king, so the knight cannot defend to go to g8. This knight on g5 is defending the f7 square, so the king cannot go there. And the queen is just brutalizing the king on the f8 square, and that is checkmate on the board. Let's move on to subject 2. So the next challenger, Ninja, tried to destroy Mittens, and Ninja is the black pieces and Mittens is the white pieces. Ninja played castle kingside. After castling kingside, then we got the move bishop to c4, and Ninja decided to trick the bot, or try to trick the bot, maybe to get a free piece somewhat. Maybe the bot might make a mistake and do the move b5. After the move b5, we have knight takes on b5. And then after knight takes on b5, knight e5 was pretty much the end of black's demise, because this is what Mittens did. We got knight takes on e5, right? We got knight takes on e5, e takes on e5, and then we have the move a4, pushing up at him. And you're gonna see why this move is a little bit threatening. After a4, bishop takes on b5, a takes on b5. Now Adam is a Bradley. And after Adam became a Bradley, Ninja decided to do the move queen d4 to trade queens and maybe get a good position. But Ninja was wrong, because Mittens did not trade queens, but did the move bishop to d3. After bishop d3, queen takes on e3. Then we have the move bishop takes on e3, and now this bishop on e3 and this rook on a1 is attacking this lonely isolated pawn on a7, on this g1 to a7 diagonal, and on this a file. This pawn is being threatened to be captured, which there is no possible way to defend that pawn. So Ninja was like, I'm just gonna put this knight on the edge, because you know the knight is not always dim on the edge. And so the bishop took on a7, taking that pawn. And now you see what I'm talking about. Adam became Bradley, and now Bradley is gonna become a queen pretty soon. And what happened was rook f to d8, and after rook f to d8, b6. B6 happened on the board. And you already know what Mittens' plan is right now. After B6, knight to F4, then we have B7. B7 getting close to the promotion square, and then after B7, Ninja was like, I give up. Rook takes on A7, and then we're gonna have Rook takes on A7. And then Ninja decided to at least take that knight off the board. Knight takes on D3, right? You have nothing else to do, but Mittens just like ignored that whole threat, ignored that whole capture altogether, and was like, I'm gonna promote this pawn, and that's why I'm gonna do the move, Rook A8. How are you supposed to defeat her? Mittens is really strong, like stronger than Stockfish. And Ninja was like, okay, I don't want you to take my rook, so I'm gonna take your rook. And then after pawn takes on A8, now Mittens have a whole other queen. Where's the extra queen at? Has a whole other queen on the board. Like this is humiliating for Ninja, especially when Ninja is supposed to be a kung fu karate type of person. Not gonna lie though. Ninja was smart because he actually won this game, and you're probably wondering how. Well, he did what I did. He played the cat in bullet, and the cat isn't strong in bullet, and so the cat couldn't destroy Ninja in time because he's swift with it. Let's move on to the next game though. He still got destroyed over the board. Now in this position, Bagel is the white pieces and Mittens is the black pieces. And it is Mittens' turn, and she did the move H5, pushing up Hector. Hector is running. You already know what's gonna happen on the king side if Hector is running. And after H5 was pushed, we got the move of bishop to A3, attacking a knight that is already defended. And then the move H4 happened because Mittens was like, that's not really a threat at all. I don't know why you even did that. I'm just gonna continue with my plan on attacking your king side. So what happened was, Bagel got scared. He wanted to defend. He did the move Queen F3. After Queen F3, H3 happened. Hector, the last three moves was Hector, man, get out the way. The last three moves was Hector being pushed down the board to the H3 square. And after H3, we got the worst move possible, G takes on H3. And, you know, after seeing G takes on H3, this is pretty pathetic. Do y'all even want to figure out the best move for black in this position? This is crazy. Because after G takes on H3, we got the move Rook takes on H3. Now, you're probably thinking like, okay, what's so wrong about this? We can still survive. Well, this Rook is attacking this queen. Where is this queen supposed to go? And Bagel went to G2 to defend the king, because now the whole H file, not H file, the G file, the G file is open. After Queen G2, Mittens was like, I think it's time for me to swing my knight to D5 and maybe to F4 to attack your king, since you wanted to take that pawn on H3. Mittens is relentless and ruthless. She's a spawn of the devil for a reason. Still did the move bishop takes on F8. After bishop takes on F8, then we got the move knight to F4, still ignoring that bishop being captured. And then after queen moves to G5, maybe trying to get a checkmate on the D8 square, Bagel tried his hardest. To any other player, it would have been perfectly fine to defend like that. But Mittens played this just awful move. Not awful. When I say moves like awful or nasty, especially when I'm talking about a good opponent, that means good moves. Queen D5, protecting the rook and threatening some type of G2 checkmate. Not yet, since the queen is still on the G file, but just watch out. Rook E1. After Rook E1, Rook H5, and then after Rook H5, we got Queen takes on G7, which I don't know why he did. It just seems so ugly because Mittens have to move Knight to H3. After Knight to H3, checking the king has to move, and the king only move is King F1. After King F1, you're probably wondering, how is Black going to continue this attack? Well, Mittens decided on doing the move Rook G5, attacking the queen and threatening Rook G1, which Bagel didn't want to get rid of his queen. He's pretty faithful, I get it. Don't want to trade the queen off, don't want to sacrifice her, right? But now you just ruin this game because there's checkmate in 3. Queen G2, check. King E2, after King E2, Queen takes on F2, check. Only move, King D1, and now Queen. Not to the computer at least, because after castle queenside, bishop to E3, nothing important, and it's probably not the best move since all these pawns are pushed, making weaknesses. So castling queenside against an AI computer that is gonna whoop your tail is not the right idea, especially, I already mentioned the pawns on the queen side. So after bishop E3, a few major mistakes happen, and I'm gonna warn you, viewer discretion advised. Queen to F3. When you think about Queen F3, you should be thinking about the next move, which was Bishop to G5. Skewer? After Bishop to G5, Queen has to move, and then you already know what Mittens did. They did Bishop takes on D8, which is like, you know what I mean? Bishop takes on D8 is crazy. And then after Bishop takes on D8, Knight takes on D8. And then you have the move D takes on E5. And now 479, they started trading off pieces. Bishop takes on D5. After bishop takes on D5, queen takes on D5, this is just completely hopeless now. I mean, you have this queen on this long diagonal, ready to check the king out of oblivion, especially this queen going to A8, capturing A6, and then just running up at him to promote on the board. So after queen takes on D5, D takes on E5, just taking all the pieces that you can, since you already know that you're lost against Mittens. And then Mittens did the move, queen A8, king D7, knight takes on E5, knight takes on E5, king E7, and then knight takes on G6. And I know, y'all might be thinking, what could be worse than this? Being checked, being forked by a cat. I know. And this is not just some regular cat. This is like Beerus or somebody. After knight takes on G6, he did the move king E8. And then after king E8, Mittens took the other rook on H8. And after this, I mean, this is just a resignable moment. He played on, but there's clearly nothing else to see off of this game. Let's just move on to the next one, which we actually have a pretty strong contender. So we got this Benoni type of structure. I mean Benoni. We got this Benoni defense by the black pieces, which is Mittens. And then we got a contender named, we're gonna call her Val. Val did the move bishop E2 to C4 in this position. And she is a 2100 in the Discord. Out of everybody, she should have a chance against Mittens. I mean, how powerful can Mittens be? After bishop E2 to C4, we got the move bishop to F5, attacking this C2 pawn, and then the move bishop B3 happened. And this is where things started slipping away, just gradually, because now Mittens did the move C4, and then after C4, bishop takes on C4, and then we got the move knight takes on C2, attacking the rook on A1, which is still pretty good. It's still in the game, because after rook A2, there's really nothing else that Mittens could do but bring the knight back to B4. After the knight went back to B4 and the rook went back to A1, then we got the move rook to C8. After rook C8 attacking the bishop on C4, you have to get out of that threat. So bishop B3 happened here. After bishop B3, then we have the move knight to E4. attacking the c3 knight and attacking the f2 pawn, and just the pieces are coming alive with Mittens. We got the bishop on the longest diagonal, so this knight is definitely being threatened to be captured 3 different type of ways. And after knight to e4, a major mistake happened. And it's always when this major mistake happens, Mittens just harp on the opportunity. Knight d4 seems pretty solid, seems like a good move to do to block the bishop and to attack the bishop on f5 potentially, maybe potentially take the bishop on f5 and centralize your pieces. But Mittens was pretty mean about this and did the explosive move, rook takes on c3. Why was rook takes on c3 a good move? Why did Mittens do this? She is amazing, because after b takes on c3, then you got the fascinating move. After b takes on c3, knight takes on c3. And then this is when you realize something. This is when you realize something. And let me write this down. You realize that your opponent has better quality pieces than your opponent cares more about quality than material. And you know what's weird about this is that you're playing a computer bot that is 3200 elo, and if they care about more about quality in the position than material, you should already know that you're losing. In this position, it continued on. Queen d2, just trying to stay strong, trying to stay solid. Maybe get a draw just like Hikaru Nakamura. Bishop takes on d4 happened, and after bishop takes on d4, we got the move bishop to b2. The queen can't even take the bishop on the d4 square. The queen takes on d4, knight to e2 is a fork on the queen and king. So Val did the move bishop b2, queen f6, rook c1, and you already know who's controlling the position. It seems like the white pieces are getting into zigzag and they're getting crushed slowly but surely. Rook to c8, and after rook to c8, you got the move g4, which is just a throwaway move. It just makes the position a lot more worse, and Mittens knew that. That's why she just did the slow move bishop to e4, and after bishop to e4, you bring the bishop back to d1 just to defend crap, and then queen e5 happened, and I don't even know why she continued on playing Mittens. This seems like a done deal. If I see a position like this and your opponent's pieces are literally landing on each square of the center and controlling everything, this is amazing. Because after rook e1, another blunder, then we have the move queen to g3, checking the king, and after queen to g3, king f1, then queen g2, checkmate. Devastating. Pretty much defeated all of your opponent's pieces with 4 minor pieces. Never seen that before. That's a new one. The checkmates that are good is always against players that are actually like tough opponents. And like, would you ever get checkmated like this? What? That's crazy. And mines were bad. Like, I lost against the cat 8 times, and I only showed y'all 2 games, but this is horrible. Gosh, like, dang. Okay, so we got this last game, UWU against Mittens. Mittens is the black pieces, UWU is the white pieces. He's a subscriber. And in case you're wondering, I don't know what I just drew there. It's like half human, half cat, but I'm just saying that's the expression that Mittens have on her face all the time. Is that not the expression? Is she not doing, I don't know what type of impression or what type of vibe she's giving right now, but I feel like she's just sleeping on us. And once you see this game, you're gonna understand. So white did the move bishop g5, UWU, which was pretty much the end because Adam was pushed. And usually when Adam is pushed, is a downhill spiral. That downhill spiral continued with the move bishop takes on e7. UWU, that was the biggest blunder ever, because after bishop takes on e7, the queen takes on e7, then the king cannot castle anymore. The king cannot castle anymore. The move that you played here was king f1, even though maybe bishop e2 might have worked, but you still couldn't castle because if you would have castled, the queen would have took the bishop on e2. So king f1 was probably your best try. I don't know. All I know is that Mittens just castled simply, just using the opening principles, not caring about that knight being taken on c6. After bishop takes on c6, pawn takes back on c6, and then you took that extra pawn thinking, maybe, hey, I'm up a pawn. My king doesn't have to be castled. I'm up a pawn. I'm doing swell, right? I'm doing swell. The move queen e4 happened. And after queen e4, this is when everything just gets hectic because UWU went for more material, taking the rook on a8. I'm thinking that UWU took the most material out of Mittens, but Mittens won the war when you was winning little battles because after queen d3, attacking the king, of course you can't go to g1 because that's a quick checkmate. So you went to e1. And after king e1, rook e8 happened. And after rook e8, knight e5, pretty much the only defense. And then rook takes on e5, it's checkmate, literally checkmating the king on e1 in the center of the board. The rook is attacking the e file. The queen is preventing the f1 move, and the queen is preventing the king going on the d file. So that is an amazing checkmate, and that's what happens when you get caught up taking material. Mittens is teaching everybody lessons in the chess world today, and hey, hopefully we can see some more games in the future. Peace. Keep your eyes on the road and stay healthy.